God, what did we do to this poor map?
Invaded it, I think.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be a process undoing this map, but we're here now.
Did we finish the pirate fight? I don't.
No, we were in the middle of it. It's our turn.
I remember I was just randomly shooting into the crowd.
One ship was sinking because it sunk immediately. The other one we're boarding.
In order for that to work, I had to win 3 rolls in a row against a superior captain, and I did. It's like, wow, really? Wow. Because it was like, it was like, no, we gotta join the fray, and so they sailed in the battle. And because he didn't stabilize the ship to boost his bailing crew, and this bailing crew, the only
right. It was your immense success and their horrific failure, both at the exact same time.
I didn't have an immense success. It's like we hold the ship. Okay, that's a good result.
It required at least 3 on a bunch of people rolling d6s with 4 dice.
They had 4 dice and they didn't roll a single success, and it's like a 1 in 16 chance. Bloop, we're sinking.
Blue.
That's it. We're that's it. Okay, it's like wow. I haven't done any research on how often ships sink, but I imagine more often than people would like.
I think that's
very true.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot more surrendering going on where guys are going, it's like, well, we could all die for cargo that's not mine. Or we could surrender and they'll threaten to hang me when I go home. So
right.
If I die, I can't go home anyway. So this is kind of like also I didn't sign up for piracy because everyone loves me back at home and wishes I was still there.
Yeah, from the bit I've seen about pirating, usually you just use the threat that you could fight them and intimidation, say, all right, if you just do what we say, we'll take your stuff. You guys get to go home and live. It's perfectly fine.
That's always one of my big complaints about gaming. That's why I'm always complaining about the naughty dog theory, where like, in Last of Us or Uncharted, a bad guy, well, it's some guy. I better charge at him and throwing away my life for a cause I don't even believe in. Like, I'm only here for the money, but I'm willing to die for it. And they just run at you and you just like kill 50 of them. And then later meet with the boss as if like, hey, we're cool, right? I'm a hero. And your minions are fanatical.
It does seem like, it seems like the kind of situation where your fortunes could turn very quickly, and one minute you are cruising along, and the next minute you're at the bottom of the ocean. And in cases like that, I feel like it's like gun battles, right? They say that like gunfights are weird because they're over so quickly, and you get to this point where you get a lot of people like it's a lot more posturing than actual fight. Because once the shooting happens, people just die. The fight's over very fast.
You can only die once.
Exactly.
I mean, video games have changed that. No, I forget who was the guy who cashed out. I think his name started with a D.
No, Demetrios died via cannonball. Elderly William, cashed out. He was the only winner.
And you saw how much money he got for cashing out. He went on 2-3 voyages and got enough for like 10 years worth of retirement.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do any work for a decade, which might be the rest of his life.
Which might be right. So you can see why you sign up for piracy, because if you live, all I have to do is work for it. Sure, it's hard work, but I was going to do that anyway in the poorhouses for a couple months. And if I live, I get a crap ton of money.
So I guess let's go ahead and just do some quick mottos and explain why we didn't cash out.
Right? I mean, I have a very, very short recap for last session. And it goes like this. The party decided to head north to Gedina to recruit new sailors for their ship before setting off to Puku Atima. Less than a day's journey to the shark civilization, the party encountered a pirate ship that gave chase. A naval battle ensued. The party got a lucky shot on a ship, sunk outright after its maintenance crew failed, and Cow boarded the remaining ship, and a battle was waged across the decks of 2 of the 3 remaining vessels, including you guys in that count. So that's where we are. It was not a long session. So let's do mottos. We can start with Ark.
Hello, Mark Wood. I play Abla, the stubborn Pernina Kamahi Kohatu. Her motto is "Ship away."
And next up, we got Griffin.
That's right, I'm playing Gaston II, Ibis Marine and Warlock. His personality is determined, and his motto is Perfection Incarnate.
And after that, we got Rafty.
Hello, world. I'm playing Madame de Fresneau, the Puranina pirate. And my motto is liberty, equality, camaraderie.
And last but not least, we've got Theta.
Commodore Cal, Kangaroo Sea Lad Warrior. Optimistic. If I die trying, then at least I tried.
Indeed, indeed. And I'm Red. I'll be your game host for this morning. And it is your turn. It is the player's turn. And I think that the purple tokens are your crew members and the orange ones are mine. Or no, wait, no, other way around. Because I remember getting trying to kill Alma.
I think we're using green for us and purple for them.
No, I think the green is also mine. There's only one green token left. I think the rest of them died.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you guys have the yellow helmets. No, but wait. Okay, now I'm all confused.
Yeah, I believe the yellow is in fact ours.
Purple
Yeah,
is
so
theirs.
Yellow is yours.
Captain.
Guys, purple is
remember-
theirs. Caitlin is the captain.
That's right. That's right.
Laddie there dared and braved and got stabbed and killed for their trouble.
Indeed.
Poor Laddie.
Who is Fusty Quillian? Fusty Quillian, mine or yours?
Fusty's ours. Fusty stepped. No, sorry. Fusty is the one who killed Laddie.
Okay. Okay then. So, all right. So I am just controlling the purple guys. There's not a whole lot of them left. So
this green one's also yours. Fusty is the one that killed Laddie.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay. So I got the green and the purple. All right. Okay. Go.
Well, I guess I'm a leader, so I should go first.
All right.
And oh boy, this is ugly. There's Abla's up there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to yell at Abla. There's gonna be a D12 range die on that. I'm gonna get out my Fusil and yell at Abla. Is like, we can't lose now. We're so close.
7.
All right. We get to do the roll, and then we get to see
Never
the
mind.
range penalty.
And I accomplish nothing. All right. So, do I have control over clothing?
Let's see.
I do. Okay. I'm gonna remove that and guard, which is always a good move. Ula here is in bad shape. Ula is, because no one is on me, is gonna stand back up. And I can stride when I stand back up, so I'm gonna move there.
Well,
But because I had to recover from reeling and stand back up, I'm not guarding. And Molly the Generous is going to dash to here and guard and cover Ula. So you can't get at Ula. So they fall back. And let's see, Hazel's one of ours too, right?
Yes.
Well, Abla's coming, so I'm gonna dash to here, and anyone can try to rally. Our guys are just typicals, right?
I think they're actually elite Marines.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Are they? I know you had 3 elites total.
Well, which ones are the elites, and well,
I think you guys are typicals, unless
we had up to a few Marines.
I thought we hired 5. I thought we hired 5 elites, and one of them's dead because Laddie was.
We have 6 elite Marines.
Okay. Yeah, I think the yellows are all. I think we went to board because we had elites. Because notice we have 5 people here, so there are 5 elites, and Laddie's dead.
Okay.
All right. So Hazel's gonna move to there and rally Abla. It's like we're losing ground. I don't know what to do. Do something, Abla. And I mean, I went ahead and took care of the NPC, so that'll end my turn because I have to get out of their gun.
Yep. I think my plan was to go south, and the fastest way to do that is to go ahead and guard, and then run all the way around the boat. So I will get up to here, I'm guarding, and that is that. I'm also reeling because of that. So yeah, that's it. I need to reposition. I'm out of everything else I can do.
And I'm trying to think of where I would be best put. I think up here next to Anne. So my dash is, let's see, 4.
Yeah, I don't think the map scale was edited.
It's
so-
not correct here.
You have to go by
So
character widths. So I think you
yeah,
can still get there. What's your stride?
My stride is 1.
Okay, and you're not an acrobat, right?
Right.
Yeah. See, the only problem is you could move 2 character lengths up these stairs to here, but you only get a stride and a dash, and they have to be in a straight line. So you'd have to move to here and then to there, and you done. And I don't think you're in range of anybody.
Well, I could do that, and then
You have a second
Sprint.
action.
I have a sprint to do as well.
Well, you could also just stride, which is just move 1 pace if you just want to do that. That's also an action in the book.
Okay, I'll stride. That way I don't have to roll it.
And that would be 2 actions, and you'd stop there.
Right.
Okay. And where? And I guess Cow has seized the other ship, unless Cow wants to get out a gun and start shooting into this crowd.
No, that's our ship. Remember, they boarded us. We fought them off.
Okay.
No, I'm
I
out
think
of the fight.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then I guess that's the end of us.
okay. Sorry. There's a character that we named last time, and I did not write that name down. I gotta go trolling through the
Okay.
chat, but not right now. Okay.
Because if you want some advice, this guy can recover from reeling in guard, and Caitlin can lead into Gaston. I don't know what Gaston was thinking.
I'm looking at Gaston too. He is guarding, but he's also reeling.
Oh, you are guarding?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I
hard
am
to tell
guarding.
because of the.
It's very tiny on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, then in which case that's kind of suspicious. Molly's armed with a short sword. I don't know how Gaston is armed.
I have a rapier and an empty pistol.
Okay.
Okay. So we are going to recover from with
Actually, no, I probably
Marjorie.
dropped the pistol because I had to do magic before,
Yeah.
so it's empty.
And
I mean, you're already blooded, so it's really easy just to have guard, and then you would move in and attack, getting a tactics bonus from Marjorie.
Yeah, why not?
Bold of you to assume I work with other people.
Well, no. Caitlin will get her tactics bonus. Let's make it count, right? We'll aim an attack and roll.
I will be counterattacking.
You're reeling?
And I get my.
Can you counterattack if you are reeling? Do you have some sort of? Because you're reeling currently.
You're muted,
You
Ref.
can't counter while you're reeling.
Okay, parry. Boop.
You can parry, which is the same as a counter, just doesn't do any damage.
I didn't increase that D4 ever, did I?
Oh, that's a block. You're fine.
That is
There
a
we
block.
go. Yep. Ha, on guard.
All right, up here, I've still got 2, and Abla isn't guarding, so we're going to move Fusty over. And Fusty will take a swing, and so will Anne.
All right, I'll counter them.
Okay, here comes Fusty. Still haven't beaten a 4. 4 is my high roll today. I guess 7 is. Okay. Yikes. So that's 2. Its critical is 3. That's 7 weak. Jesus. 3d6 and 3d6. 1, 2, 3 is not enough to prevent death. All right, Anne is. We'll aim an attack with Anne.
Revenge for Laddie.
Holy shit, that's a good roll.
Better than mine. So it's the same as the last one.
Yep, 7 point weak. You get to soak it twice.
That's an overkill. Dispatched.
Are you overkilling people with weak weapons?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm rolling fantastically poorly. But also Abla is a murderer.
That's all.
Show them for being unarmed pirates or unarmed.
That is some poor rolling there, where you need.
Yeah.
You have 6 dice and you have 1 success.
Yep.
Fortune favors the bold. Is that all the bad guys?
Yep.
Backed up.
Well, all right. Well, I guess it's the rise of good guys. Hey, can I demand their surrender?
I mean, you're not on the ship, but
Well,
I guess
I can
so.
yell at them to surrender.
We could yell at them to surrender, sure.
I will do so because we outnumber you 2-1.
I suppose both negotiation and presence do work in this circumstance for that.
Let's see.
Depending on your choice.
I'm going to use presence as I am a scary, scary Perenina.
Sounds perfect.
You guys can roll your. I'll yell at Marjorie, and it's like, lay down your arms and surrender. You fought well. No one disputes this.
Since you need a second action to this turn, would you like to rally me while you're at it? First, and then
they're both stunned. Oh yeah, right. It's a stunt.
Actually, so I get 2 actions, so I could do that, and I don't need to guard because I'm on the other boat. So first, I will wonder why my keyboard's not responding. There we go. All right. Well,
nope.
Speaking of rolling poorly, all of you can see that I've invested in rallying, and it's not working. You can all see that, right?
Oh, absolutely. This is unlikely.
Well, no thanks to the incompetent Gaston. All right, Marjorie, I need you to roll your body, will, presence, and any modifiers because of range and because we outnumber you 2-1. Or the GM can decide they're sick of this fight, they could just surrender.
I mean, let's roll. I'd say if you can beat them on this roll, then they will surrender.
I have rolled.
I'm sorry, that's your roll. Okay.
That is my roll.
Yeah. Body, will, presence. And if they're Marines, they don't have it. They could be a captain, but I don't think he did that.
Well, he targeted Marjorie, so
of at least D12. And it also says
here's the D12.
We didn't start adding complicated surrender rules until Noggle Stones because I realized that enemies never surrender. But they can just not hear me, so I guess we're giving out this round.
Okay.
Good job, Madame.
Well, you heard the boss. I'm going to go ahead and move the NPCs in the most neutral way I know, because this will make them go. This one will move in position and guard. What dot do we use for focus? We use blue for focus, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, wrong one. Sorry, Roll20 has a lag on it. There we go. Everybody here is dead, so we will move to here, and I'm going to go ahead. So I made them dash, which is a dash and a stride to do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and roll Clothera and Hazel's sprints. Oh wait, there's only one. Ignore the second roll. So this one sprints 1 + 1, which is 2, and this one sprints 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can choose to make that 6, or I can choose to make that 4, 5, or 6. So you can add or subtract your stride from that. I'm gonna go ahead and we get 5, and then I'm gonna subtract my stride for 4, and I'm just gonna sprint to there. So the two of them run to go help their friend. That is the end of all NPCs.
All right. So Madame has already gone. Habla, you're across the ship, and I am adjacent to people.
Right.
I'll go ahead and recover from reeling, and somebody is not guarding right now. So I think now is the time to go ahead and stab them. So, defend yourself. Aha, a 5.
Counter. Hey.
That is an 8. I could go ahead and do a reroll. I'm going to go ahead and make melee combat, and I'm going to go ahead and choose favored use with the rapier. Gonna make that note. Let's reroll a d8. Let's see if I can match it.
Can you tie?
No!
Not today.
I do have personality. I will go ahead and tap that immediately. I can't possibly get hit. I'm too perfect.
Oh, there it is.
And I am. There we go. So that is a single hit with the rapier, which is 3 damage impaling, and you are up against the wall.
No, I think they can. Caitlin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're up against the wall.
Is that a wall or is that a lead? Oh, that's a wall. Yeah, you're boned.
Okay. 3.
That's almost just too perfect. So that's next to the point of damage. It's a 4-point hit.
Ooh, he soaks it down to a 2-point hit. And by he, I mean she.
She, yep, Caitlin. Well, then they are reeling, hurt, and
afraid.
Panicked. Yeah, afraid.
There we go. Perfect. All right, I'm done. Abla.
Yep, I'm gonna run over to Gaston. Let's see.
2 run speed.
18.
Yeah, you can make it there.
Yeah, guard and run. And I think that's the end of heroes. So I guess it's the rise of villains. Marjorie's still alive. You could surrender or keep fighting. Gaston is not guarding if you want to attack Gaston. The other two are guarding.
I think they're going to surrender. Marjorie will.
Okay.
They are alone and the last combatant and surrounded.
Yeah.
I'll have to apologize to my Fusil that I didn't get to fire you.
Once again, I stand unharmed in the face of battle. There are none who can oppose me, and it definitely wasn't raw luck.
I'm pretty sure that was raw luck.
Nonsense. Skill.
I mean, I may be a lot of things, but nearsighted is not one of them, and I was watching that. That was pure luck. Wait, I'm supposed to build up morale.
Not the way I'll tell it later.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm supposed to build up morale. There. Pat you on the back. That was some perfunctory fighting out there.
I'm gonna start to disassemble the map while we do this.
Now would be a good time for that.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna turn I get Molly, give me your hat. I'll take Molly's hat, put it on my head, then take it off and have a moment of silence for Laddie. Okay, you can have your hat back.
So we fought the people who were ready to be boarded, but there's still technically a crew on the ship that has not been dealt with. But presumably with their captain down and their best fighters down, that's probably a surrender for the rest of the boat.
Their captain's down, their fighters down. So now we have to figure out what kind of crew they have. Now there's not dynamics for this in the rules, but they could have a pirate crew, a bunch of guys that they've hired who are here because I heard pirates make a lot of money. They could have an enslaved crew, which is we don't want to do this, but we also don't enjoy being whipped or keel hauled. Oppressed crew. You guys have heard of that, right?
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what we have to assist. And also, they could also be mixed, as in some people are here because I heard we were going to kill for money. And someone else says, I got drunk and woke up here and they told me here's a bucket, start bailing. And when I said what, they ripped me across the face. Am I supposed to be friendlier for streamers? I keep forgetting. Am I too dark? You tell me if I was too dark, right?
You're not dark enough. Go darker. It's
Ours
pirates.
is a gritty adults-only Twitch stream.
Look, we've had the lash. We haven't had any rum or sodomy yet.
So yeah, let's
Right,
investigate the crew as a first action,
but
and then we can talk to the captain after.
We'll round up the crew and present them to Captain Cow, or sorry, Admiral Cow,
Commander Cow,
Commodore
Cow.
I assume
Commodore Cow.
Claims to be Admiral.
It's more alliterative, and it means the same thing.
All right. The crew looks to be a scurvy lot. All of them pirates by their countenance and general level of hygiene. None of them seem particularly skilled, but all of them seem eager to not be dispatched by their captors.
So what, you said they're all sick?
No, just kind of flea-bitten and dirty.
Well, you said they were a scurvy lot.
Well,
So like their teeth are falling
scurvy
out.
is... I mean, how many times do you call someone scurvy and they're actually scurvy?
A day?
You meet a lot of scurvy people.
Hey, to
Not a lot of
also
people
right
around
here,
here eat limes.
how often are you committing piracy? Remember, we're on the internet, so you.
I think the
No.
remembering that we're on the internet probably belays a lot of piracy.
Not supposed to admit that on the internet.
I'm not. I'm just suggesting it.
Right. So, and also, I would also suggest is, yeah, a scurvy, mangy, decrepit, disgusting lot. Typicals.
Yes. I think my tolerance on my mic is not right today. I don't know.
Okay. So yeah. So, I guess we could recruit. We had one loss, right? Because we lost, two losses. We didn't lose anybody in the big fight. Griffin, you're
we did lose the one, and I believe I already removed them from the list.
All right, so
we didn't lose anyone else, did we?
We lost 2 men, and we lost 2 able-bodied men, and we're gaining 2 more. But these ships already have crew on them, so
So
this
the
ship already
one
has
ship.
crew. The other one's a total loss. The other one went down, sank under the waves, and is gone.
Well, I mean, it depends who got off the ship before it sank.
Some amount of them may still be alive in the water and in need of rescue.
Well, their
call for
repair
survivor.
crew. Yeah, their repair crew went down because they were.
Oh yeah.
Yep. The repair crew did not have time. Almost definitely did not have
Oh no,
time.
most of the crew didn't make it out because most of them took actions before they sank.
Yeah, actually, that's right. All of them decided to try and do something.
Yeah, they were surprised. I mean, it was like the whole crew was there, and it's like suddenly, like what the hell?
I think the cannon crew may have had the chance to escape, but that would be it. So a small number.
Right, and even they may have drowned, or also, where are we? Okay, we're not.
They sank far range away, so they're not like right overboard. They're like 1,000 to 3,000 feet out that way in the water.
Within visible, but that's within visible range. So
that's true.
I could yell at crew, "Hey, get out! Start squinting and tell me if you see anybody."
Quickly back to the original question though. So we have a scurvy lot of pirates here. But what was their disposition? Were they pressed? Are they just here for fun? What is their
how many are willing? I can make this.
How many are willing? How many
are willing to join us? And how many of them want to go?
I think that probably depends on a leadership role.
Mm-hmm.
Admiral Cow.
That's what will and leadership.
Yeah, will and leadership. Let's do that.
I feel I would have to assist in the interest of camaraderie.
All right.
That would make
Probably
sense.
for the best.
You could do worse than Admiral Cow. He hasn't. In his brief stewardship, we've only lost 5 people.
We wouldn't say the abuses are over. We'd say you're under new management.
There'll be different abuses, new kinds of abuse you've never even thought of.
Somebody
actually,
said sodomy earlier, I heard.
Yeah.
That's not technically abuse.
It is if you don't want it.
Okay, well. No, that's sea rules. That's different.
Are we the worst or something?
We're the worst pirates we've ever heard of.
We're supposed to be telegenic, right? That's how people get to watch it.
I mean, hey, maybe it's a selling point. We should put it on the now with 10% more sodomy.
It's okay. It's a circle. We'll wrap all the way back around soon.
But then it's not the good kind. Well, never mind. All right. So that's 1 success. We, I guess, people who would be inclined to come over, which
You get some of the people, but you don't get all of the people. Although none of the people want to die. So I'd say that probably a majority of the crew just does not seem incredibly trustworthy.
Right.
And you would assume that maybe 10 of this, we're going to say this, well, okay, it's the cannon crew, maintenance crew. We'll say that like the whole ship had a crew of about 30. And we'll say that like 10 of them seem like genuinely eager to jump sides and work with you.
Yeah, remember that ship boarded us, so they lost the people that they boarded with, which is probably their rigging crew or whatever. And then they got boarded by y'all, which means that then they lost whoever else was on board.
They lost like a handful of the elite Marines, which are probably not joining us.
There's probably people below decks.
No, I meant that they lost everybody that was, I can't remember, top deck.
That was fighting.
Yeah.
But we don't want to mute
rigging.
No, I'm just saying that they
Captain
lost
Cow.
a good number on 2 different boardings.
Sorry. Commander Cow.
So
Since there's 10 sailors here, I would recommend you take them all onto your boat because you're still ill-crewed.
Or we're a day away from the port where we're seeking more crew anyway.
Right.
I would
My
suggest
recommendation is
that
you take 10 more right now.
No, I say you keep them on your ship.
Very well.
You've got more crew. If they decide to try and mutiny or pull some shit, you have more people to put them down with.
Right. Well, since your ship is loyal, then you stick with your crew. We'll keep the Marines, and we'll say, all right, we'll take you as far as Gadina, and then you can decide. And then you can decide if you want to sign up. Note to self: don't let these idiots sign up with us.
I guess next time I go to recruit people, I shouldn't jump around the ship singing Nirvana songs.
I think the second point of order then is we probably do need to talk to the captain, at least discover who they are.
Did they die?
No, they're still alive. I stabbed them. They're afraid.
They got a deep stab wound.
Oh,
actually a shallow. Just hurt.
Afraid.
Yeah. The captain is hurt, but not injured.
And they're afraid. They lost their nerve.
Indeed. Yes.
Okay. I propose that we lock them up and read their journal. And by we read their journal, I mean Gaston, I believe, is the only one here who can read.
That's right. So, time to get to reading.
Okay.
Now, do they know how to write?
This is a good question.
If you're the captain and don't know how to write, but not out of possibility.
They do have to at least be able to read a map. Somebody does here.
Well, someone has to be able to read a map, and someone has to be able to keep track of cargo that they can buy and sell. But once again, if you're a pirate, you could just be bad at math and not care. So we're on a mission of discovery to find out exactly what kind of pirates these people are. It could also be that the smart ship is the one that went down.
True. What's
right. Okay. All right, so it was Caitlin. Captain Caitlin. Probably spelled that name wrong. Or pirate.
You forgot like 3 Z's.
Yeah, the G is silent.
More
all right. Okay. Seems very stoic. And as you search the ship, you do find her journal, her accounts of their voyage thus far. Despite leading a pirate crew, Caitlin seems to have a very practiced, steady hand. And the way that she writes, it reeks of colonial training. You don't find any personal journal that would explain, her origins, but
Right.
the fact that she can keep this crew of drunks and murderers in bay with a degree of sort of military efficiency is a mystery unto itself.
Well, what
Then
kind
I
of
guess
boat
the
is
most
this?
immediate thing is, where did she recently come from? What was her mission, and what's their cargo?
Yeah, I can answer some of this stuff by saying, what kind of boat is this again that we took?
This is a Ballinger, I believe.
Does a Ballinger have a quartermaster
There you
station
go,
or a
doggy.
supercargo station?
Ballinger has improved stowage and smuggling. But yeah, it's not really like yeah.
All right, so it's got stowage and smuggling. Stowage implies that there's a ledger, but there might not be one. Also, the ledger, like I said, might not be on this boat. It might be that the person who could read was on the other boat. So, I guess the binary question is: do we find a manifest that says what's in the cargo?
Yes, you do.
Okay, good. So someone could read. All right, so that's the first one. Secondly, because we know this is a smuggling boat, that means that there's probably illegal stuff in the smuggling compartments. So when we talk to the captain, we're going to have to get them to tell us what it is, or we're going to have to tear the ship apart looking for it. There is one person in our crew who knows how to smuggle, and that's me, as I actually have Streetwise. But I think we should just tell this to the Admiral, that the Ballingers are infamous for having hiding places for contraband. So the ship might have contraband aboard it.
Right, and of course they wouldn't write it down on a piece of paper that we have this much in smuggling.
Especially if the captain, the captain seems to be literate, but yeah, it would be in code or it would be somewhere else. But yeah, you usually don't write that down. So there might be contraband. You might be able to get that out of the captain in return for favors. In other words, negotiation. Now, Admiral Cow, are you a negotiator?
No.
I believe
I kind of am.
Yeah, no one in our crew is a negotiator, are they?
I have a singular die in it.
Well, Gaston, you're fond of using big words to make yourself seem self-important.
Indubitably, I am.
I would suggest that we might do good cop,
worse
good
cop,
pirate, bad pirate, and nominate that maybe Gaston being also lettered and also trained by the stinking colonial patriarchy. I mean, you drip with colonialism, don't you, Gaston?
Indeed.
Let's no apologies. Yep.
Where else do you think I learned to fence?
Is that what you called that? What is with all this, like, ooh, look at me, I got fancy footwork. I'm poking people with the smallest sword I can find.
It's called a stance. You'll be well to learn something.
Yeah, I got a stance for you. I got a stance for you right here. I would suggest that maybe Gaston could get this information out of the captain, but they also might not tell us because, there's no flag here. We need to also find out. I guess
I think they have pirate flags for anther flags.
Is there any contraband, and who do you serve? That's what my suggestion.
So yeah, I want to talk to the captain for that then.
Well, you find her in the quarters that you have closed her in. She seems to have field dressed her own wound that you gave her, Gaston, and is sitting there in her, she's got her captain's coat and hat, kind of like. Did you lock her in her own quarters? Because then she has like the nice room on the ship, right? In any case, regardless
Yeah.
of what's going on,
We haven't decided what to do with the ship yet, so sure, it
I would
works.
suggest that they did surrender, so we should lock them in their own quarters. I mean, what are they going to do? Make some sort of desperate plea to... I mean, that's one of my favorite things. It's like, what are they going to try to escape? What are you going to do? Pilot the ship yourself?
Right. So right now we will treat them with at least some small amount of dignity and allow that, I think.
right? And she has that kind of like straight-backed, quiet reserve of a surrendered prisoner of war, Gaston. You maybe are. It's refreshing because you've dealt with a lot of traitorous, pirates lately, who do anything to save their own skin. But you sense a degree of honor from this woman. Anyway, she waits for you to make the first overture.
Well, I suppose now is the time where we should introduce ourselves. I may have shouted it during the battle, but I am Gaston, and it is a delight to meet you. And who might I
Charmed.
be addressing?
Captain Caitlin. Oh, let's give her a last name.
Oh no, for shouting isn't new. I did shout like Gaston. I am perfection incarnate. Just a moment ago, in their face.
You're just so awkward to fight next to.
I know.
Captain Caitlin Lark. That's a good name. Okay. Lark. Captain Lark.
I see. Well, it seems that we've gotten the better hand of you and your fleet for today. I believe your flag is from Franther, is it not? You serve under the pirate lord there?
Well, in these seas, who does not?
Hmm. Well, of course, by now, perhaps you've realized that we've maybe pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. We have not enough flags to represent ourselves. We're not the Bisclave, as you may have first thought.
No. Quite a paltry number of wolves among your rank. I had guessed.
What was your destination out here?
Well, we were making for Gedina. When we spied your vessel and under orders from Feranther, Fort Feranther, the fort, as we call it, we were to take by force any vessel not flying the Feranther flags. Obviously, we mistook you for easy prey.
I suppose fortune did favor us today. I've noticed quite a few of you were out at Ganguao. We've passed by there recently. Well, you have a blockade. I suppose
Indeed,
you're
we do.
expanding.
Yes.
Is there other motive?
Oh, it would be common knowledge for anyone familiar with the area that Ganguo is rich with precious metals. The dread pirate lord, Goldbeard, is attempting to consolidate as much of this treasure as he can, although the dragons that currently occupy the island have been stubborn in our more charitable negotiation attempts, and so we are changing tactics.
I see. A sensible course of action. So if you were heading to Gedina, on what business?
Well,
If not to join
trade
with the fleet
mostly.
Wow.
We require more sailors for more crew for some of our ships, and Gedina produces some of the finest underwater seafarers. So we were sent there with some gold, doubt found in our hold, in order to hire new recruits.
So goods enough to trade for new crew.
Indeed.
What a funny coincidence.
Coincidence. You two are seeking more men to serve before the mast.
Gaston's probably like pulling like a wine bottle off like the shelf in the captain's quarters, pouring it for the two of them, and offering up a cup in his own.
She takes it not at all addressing the fact that you are serving her own wine in her own glasses.
Well,
but
I'm the host now.
I guess, yeah, that's the power dynamic. And she seems to have made her peace with it.
Indeed. We're on our way laden with goods, hoping to add to our recent collection. And now we have a third that we have to crew for, I think.
She says, I don't mean to malign your captain or your crew. They are quite capable fighters, but I must caution you. Few have dared challenge Goldbeard's claims in these waters, and for quite some time. Do you really think that taking his ships and his men, that this will not come back to haunt you?
No, you're incredibly correct. There's no doubt that there will be reprisal, but of course to be ill-armed for it would be foolish. I have no doubt since I set sail that there would be those cast against us. And so we will be well-armed and ready, and perhaps negotiate from a point of strength instead. I don't think the commanders decided what they want to do, other than their own success. But we'll find out soon enough, I think.
She gives a little tisk and shakes her head. Soldiers of fortune. Well, I suppose the fates will determine your victory or coming defeat. It's not for me to say. I've already played my part. You seem like a gentleman, so I must make the request. Allow me and my crew safe port once we reach Gedina, and I promise not to say a word of any of this until our men come to collect us. It'll give you quite the head start.
Indeed. I shall honor your request. My only demand in return would be that you uncover anything hidden within the ship. I believe that this ship is made for smuggling. You did mention that there was gold around here.
She gives you a smirk. She says, all we carry is gold and trading goods for Gidina. Some forged metal that we have in excess. Anything that you will find in our holds is fair game to take. But no, we are not smuggling anything.
I see then. Very well then, I shall inform the commander, and you may stay within your quarters for the time. When we arrive, I shall see all of your men safe.
I will hold you to that. I guess Gaston is not a sir, is he? He doesn't really have a title.
I have no noble title. I'm good Gaston at best.
All right, so
Others
she
say
says,
mediocre Gaston.
I will put my faith in your word, sailor, and she gives you a bow and she raises a glass to you and will drain it.
Indeed, I'll raise and drink as well, and I will go ahead and depart and inform everyone else.
Who says you can't have good manners at sea?
I know. I already fought and won. I don't have to be rude about it.
I've never
That's Gaston's sake.
I don't see why manners and etiquette are important to any kind of negotiation.
And then we have the madame. Well, we'll see her negotiating tactic next time. Tell us where the gold is. Slap.
If you all just listen to me while I'm sitting there incoherently shouting, I didn't pass a single leadership test. I'm literally a test devil on the other ship going.
Yeah.
I do appreciate.
Everyone's like, I think she's trying to be complimentary or inspiring, but I don't know.
I appreciate that we had this whole. On my honor, I do this. Wait a second, didn't your ship fly in here under a white flag?
If I have to explain that during the conversation, it's like, I'm going to blame the commander for that, and also probably suggest we get more flags.
Probably more. I mean, you did make the crack about more flags. I think she's
indeed
she's probably seen a couple tricks in her time and has made her peace with it.
Right.
I mean, she's lucky. We could be doing a lot worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Still
there
good.
We go. That's at least. So that's 3 captains we've had to deal with so far. 2 of which have thrown themselves on our blades, and 1 that chose not to.
Well, she doesn't seem to have a believable ransom, so there's really no point in trying to hold her to sell her off to somebody.
Right.
And she's not a colonial, and I would feel bad about executing someone who isn't a colonial.
Right.
It's interesting because she has the bearings of a
marks
colonial.
Of different things. But the question is anyone going to take her back? And I think if she's sailing for Fort Feranther, the answer is probably not at this point anymore.
No, I think we should dump her when we get to port.
Yeah, so we're dumping her at port with everyone else. They'll be safe. They'll find their own way back, and we have a third boat.
And let no one question the generosity of Admiral Cow.
Yeah, exactly. Most importantly, she won't tattle on us, or at least that's what she said. Who knows what will happen the next week?
We're all fucking pirates.
Right, but we could be pirates with people on our back.
Don't you want to be a
We
dread
will.
pirate?
We will have people on our back because she'll sell us out.
I
don't
think we
know why
definitely
you're
need the
making
time.
honorable deals. Honestly, we should just keep them hostage until we find a faraway deserted island, strand them on it so they don't tell anybody ever, and then.
Well,
I think that would be
But
more
I-
sportsmanship at this point.
don't
I
tell anyone
slap you
ever
in the face.
until someone comes by, with the treasure map to do the Chad walk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about that. It seems more likely that they'll find a boat to get back to the fort from here quicker, but I also don't care enough to actually put up a fuss about it.
Well,
Right.
you're the admiral. You could override us. You have.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I don't care enough.
So Red, you said we have a new boat here. I should probably grab these statistics for that.
Indeed. Let's see.
thought you did last
I
time.
believe it's a Ballinger, right?
Did we?
Yes.
Did
Famous
we?
for their large cargo capacity, so large that you could easily hide contraband among it. And it's also a warship too, because it's got cannon, right?
Yeah, because you listed all the stats last time, so I thought you already had
Oh,
them.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't
So
think I see them.
Well, I thought
The
you wrote them
Ballinger is
down last
actually
time.
okay. So I was doing some research between sessions here, and the Ballinger and the Lawson's Folly are both actually on the smaller side of ships. Cow's Pride is the only bigger ship, and it's not even the biggest ship, right?
yeah, there's way bigger than
No,
this.
Raph went about that last time, that
Yeah.
we're not even the upper class. But
Yeah,
no,
we're not
exactly.
getting great.
no, because last time you described the ship and you were like, "Oh, it's smaller than your ships, but has bigger cannons and everything." I thought you went down the whole list.
Yeah.
Is it a middling ship with broadside cannons, smuggling supercargo?
No,
Okay, so that is a different result.
Ships of the trade wind. Hold on a
So in
second.
that
it
case,
has
yeah, we need
it has
different-
bigger cannons than the ship you have, smaller cannons than the ship I
Well,
have.
don't forget we
We're
modded
on-
it.
We're on page 64 of the book, The Pirate Ballinger.
Yeah, it's specifically a pirate Ballinger, not just
Yeah.
regular Ballinger.
Common pirate vessel.
Where's my open book?
No, I just
Favored for
mean that when
raids
you
and smuggling.
described it, it had whatever the one between broadside and light was.
Middling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's better cannons than y'all's,
And
but it's a
that's
smaller
actually
ship.
that's actually a technical term, middling, which I thought was hilarious. We've decided to downgrade your ship from great to middling.
Technically, I think it would be better if you just, at some point when we actually get to a dock, just to switch your cannons to the middling cannons and keep it on your ship.
Right. So I'm gonna do some statistics here and keep track of that.
Well, it has like an amazing cargo capacity because all
I'm
those
gonna-
multipliers stack. So,
Well, it's a
yeah.
smaller ship, though.
Right, but stowage is 4 times, and smuggling is 2 times, so it has 8 times. So I think it has 80 tons of cargo space, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, but I just mean that we can equip you with the better weapons and we can escort our cargo
Right.
ship and just have this one for cargo.
And I'm glad we have something that's specifically designed to smuggle contraband.
I'm just grooving. I've got my tavern music playing. Just if if I look zoned out, it's because I've zoned out. So I apologize. Yep. So it looks like you guys, I posted the stats for the ship in our shared ship doc, and you guys are sorting that out.
Yes, indeed.
I'm actually going to write some names down this time so I don't lose them.
So let's see. So what is the minimum amount of crew required for that? We need captain, helm, and at least 10 people on rigging. So we need at least 12 people to make sure that it gets to dock.
How many people are on cannon?
10 people are required for cannon.
How many people are required on cannon on your ship?
3.
That is a spike, isn't it? 3 on your ship.
3,
10
10,
on
and then
that.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah, lights are 3, middling is 10, broadsides are 30.
Fortunately, we do have enough sailors overall that we should be able to get it back to port. And assuming nothing terrible happens, any of us could probably captain it for a little while to at least just keep it in order and make sure we all get there. And then we can do the true shuffle afterwards. Red. Since you said that there was cargo on it already, we should probably go ahead and ask how much. It is cargo of 60 tons. 60 out to do 0 out of 60.
Right. Let's see. Oh, I just had it there. Edina. Well, Feranther has a lot of gold and silver. Edina is importing forged metals. Okay, so yeah. So it's kind of a treasure ship. We'll say that it's full of silver and some gold.
60 tons of gold and silver.
That's actually a lot of gold and silver. It probably does not cost that much to buy a crew. So let's say 1 ton of gold?
Well, and also that might not be processed gold.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I could easily see, we got nuggets or whatever. It's unlikely that if you, if you took it from here, well, actually,
I got it, because this is an export, right?
If you took it from here, there probably wouldn't be smelting furnaces. You'd have to have a colonial operation to smelt it into bars of gold. So
right, and its state probably changes whether it's expensive or extravagant or average even.
Did we find that in the smuggling or did we find that in the cargo?
Cargo. You've been told there's nothing, they're not smuggling anything.
Right. So, I mean, it could be either poorly smelted or raw, gold. I mean, that's up to the game host of how much money you want us to have. Gold bars are very different from, I would think that if it was gold bars, it would be in the smuggling compartment because you don't want anybody to know you have that. Because they'll be stamped.
And of course, the question is, what's their value as well?
Well, it's expensive cargo, right?
Yeah.
I would suggest
gold is expensive.
I would have to suggest that they have that it would be the expensive kind because they don't have super cargo. They're not geared for extravagant.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So,
yeah.
So they wouldn't have the setup or the know-how to do it. We didn't put in a rule that said if you didn't have your cargo, it would you didn't know how to process your cargo, it would spoil. We didn't put in a rule for that. We went with the opposite of you're not allowed unless you have the right thing, and then put in a note somewhere else that said, okay, if your game host says if you really, really want, you can ask your game host to carry stuff you're not supposed to carry. The details of how this gets screwed up is up to you. So yeah, they probably have gold ore here, but not. So it's in the expensive category. And how much is expensive per ton?
2,500.
2,500, and we have 1 ton of it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, there's also common and rare, but I imagine gold is pretty common out in this region. So
yeah, I mean, this stuff is listed in the import-export as expensive gold.
Right. I mean, gold bars are smelted. This is probably if I held up, look, a gold nugget, you would go, wow, that's a gold nugget. That's valuable. Excusing the fact that 90% of this is dirt and
yeah,
probably just a little mercury, but just a little
for flavor.
For flavor. The tastiest of the heavy metal.
Hey, if it's good enough for the Ganguo Emperor to drink, then it's good enough for us.
There we go. Right. So, yeah. So it's still, it's worth a lot. But it's only expensive, not extravagant. So, and Gengar actually would have smelters for it, but once again, if they'd smelted it, it would be in gold bar form, and that would be a bigger issue. They were probably waiting for something to come along that was better than this. I mean, come on, you're adventurers. It's like
Exactly.
Yeah.
So right now,
no.
overall, in terms of what stuff we have, we got 2 tons of just random food here, just in case. We have 18 tons of obsidian, and we have 1 ton of gold and silver.
And the captain gets none of it because they chose not to join up with us. So, yeah, I say we make, well, the admiral's decision, but I say we make landfall and unload this. Also, aren't we supposed to unload a cargo? What's our current mission?
Our
Hire
current
more
2
crew.
missions are to get more crew and to find the amulet, which we're going to be going to after we get the crew.
All right, well, let's make landfall, get more crew, and unload this crap.
Okay, to
and
Gidina.
move cannon, because that's what the boss wants to do.
All right. It's not much further then to Gidina.
We're only a day
Gidina?
away.
Did I move that to the background? I did. Let's bring that back to the token layer. All right.
There we go.
Better, much better. All right. You all arrive at Gidina. In the distance, you see the peak of the island jutting up and covered in sails and tents and lights, but spreading out from it like an oil slick are dozens and dozens and dozens, probably, hundreds if not thousands of rafts and boats, some of them lashed together to form like flotillas that make up the above surface trading hub of Gidina. And you know that beneath the surface lies much more intricate architecture where sea life congregates.
Indeed, they're little underwater abodes.
Yep, and if we look at the import-export for Gidina,
I think Gaston is a colonial. Very
We find-
reductionist about native culture. Oh, they're little underwater abodes.
their abodes.
Yes, I remember reading a book saying that they were quaint and ready to be replaced by true Triskelion architecture. I think the person who wrote that was full of themselves.
Person who wrote that couldn't breathe water.
That's true. They need to be replaced immediately because they look terrible, not because I can't use them.
Okay, so yeah, here their main exports are cultural artifacts. So if you want to have some cultural artifacts, fish, gold, and precious stones. So we're trying to trade gold someplace where it's not going to be worth that much.
And we do have a ship that can specialize in those because it's streetwise. By the way, cultural artifacts is another way of saying we steal from the Indigenes and take their crap.
Yes.
But we can just give them gold.
Yeah.
But wait, maybe they don't value it.
Yeah, I'm kind of opposed to that. I just want.
All right. What kind of things do they want?
They're just looking for forged. The imports here are forged metals because they themselves have trouble forging things underwater.
Totally sensible, yeah.
Yeah.
And we do, in fact, have a good bit of forged metals, and we have obsidian. But I guess that might fall under precious stones, or...
Oh, that's precious stones.
No.
I think that's probably just common goods.
Yeah.
Precious
neutral.
stones is like gems,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff, which apparently they have under the sea, just lying around.
So I suppose the first thing we should probably do is ask, so how big is this place?
The
I'm
underwater
gonna say,
sea.
Yeah.
yeah, the under
So this is a city.
Well, it's
coral caves.
Yeah, it's who knows how big it is? It's huge and sprawling. It's like a complex of caves that underwater people live in.
In that case, we should at least see how much buying power they have.
Yeah, I mean, if they have city, it's a question of like what buying power they have.
Red, would you like to
Probably
roll a
considerable.
d12?
Sure.
We are technically coming in unannounced, so that means
6.
that they have buying power of 6,000 dinar.
Okay,
So we could sell off a good bit, or even
right.
trade pretty well
I
here.
mean, we don't get to see the city. There's usually like a random atoll with like like the one tree on it from like SpongeBob or whatever, and like some shark, some orcas holding up signs, that say we'll trade shells for metal.
1d4. Let's see. So let's set up our negotiation here then. Mind, will, gossip,
What do they
negotiation.
export here besides cultural artifacts?
Should be in
Fish,
the
gold, precious stones.
Well, because those are right. So yeah, they just collect those from the ocean floor. So do we want to trade? Okay, well then I guess I mean Admiral Cow, you're the captain of all this. Do you want to trade the gold for stones or fish or what?
No, I don't see it. There's not a good trade here. I think we're just here for the people.
Okay,
right.
so we're just
The
here for
primary trade we want to make here is for cash to hire people.
people.
No,
Okay,
we don't. People that we recruit are brought in on, shit, what's it called? Sorry, my brain isn't working so well right now. Shares?
Contract?
Shares.
Shares.
Yeah, we're not hiring people and paying them.
But the gold is a bonus that we use to incentivize them
Yeah,
to
I mean,
come and risk their lives for us.
I mean, if
When
you
we
want to
make
use
the
it as
land
like
call-
some sort of bonus to roll, sure, but
right,
we don't
and
hire people and pay them. That's literally not how this works.
well,
In that case, then you're gonna have to divvy up this treasure because the crew you've been rolling with haven't been paid yet.
Sure,
yeah.
I mean,
eh,
that's a share.
The bad news is we would have to have money to pay people when we get to shore so they can go to Liberty and actually buy, rum, sodomy, and the lash.
Also a good point.
Sure, that's
The
what the
good
gold's for
news-
then.
Okay, well, the good news is they can't go to Liberty here because there's nowhere to go to Liberty. The whole place is underwater.
Well, there's
Although I
all the other
imagine-
ships floating around here. The sargasm of
Yeah, and I imagine there probably is a cetacean brothel. You're welcome, furries.
See crabs in your area now.
No.
But
Wasn't
no,
ready.
the sale here is that we've got a ship. You see it? It's right there. The one bristling with cannons. That's your opportunity to make some money. We're not hiring like a modern retail business. Here's your chance to get a share of any ship that's on the sea.
We do have at least a ton of cargo we can still use as a negotiating bonus.
But we don't need to, is what I'm saying. We need to
We
use
definitely
that
need
stuff.
to because we're terrible at negotiating. Do you remember the last time we tried to hire people?
What did I just say a little while ago? If you feel that you need a bonus to roll, and use it as that then. But I'm just saying that from the in-world perspective, I'm looking at the gold and saying, no, you don't just offer them gold to get on the ship.
All right. So, Red, I think we are ultimately not selling to the city here, though maybe we should just so that we have cash instead in the future.
Right.
We'll hold off on that for a second. Let's go to getting people on the boat.
Okay, so the last time we did this, I had you guys, whoever was involved, or whoever was leading the hiring effort, was going to roll mind, gossip, and leadership. And then you get a number of potential crew based roughly on how many seats you're trying to fill, or whatever your maximum seating is for the boat that you're trying to fill, right? Or boats.
Right. We have quite a lot of seats here.
Yeah, so first question, I guess, is exactly how many positions do you guys want to fill? What's your maximum capacity?
Our maximum, let's see, 30, 100, and 30. So 160 total, and we have a good number already.
Right.
So let me do some math real quick.
Yeah. We're not gonna count the. Well, okay, you can count 10 of the crew that you guys just
We need
took
90
hostage,
more
right?
people.
Okay, you need 90 more people. Okay, cool. And you are
And-
letting Caitlin, Lark, and her men off, the ones that don't want to stick around, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay,
do
so you
that
need 90
when we're
people.
leaving, though. Do that when we're leaving, not when we get here.
Okay, that's fine. The details of their release are up to you. Although if you guys intend to stay here for multiple days and you keep them on the boat that time, they might get restless, but we'll deal with that.
Okay. So we need at least 90 people. Hopefully some of them are actually cannoneers with sailing, so this way we don't have to worry about D4s anymore.
Looking for cannoneers. Okay.
Yeah.
That career is in. Let me stop talking with the light bulb in my mouth. That career is in Book of Horn and Ivory for Cannoneer.
So let's see.
I assume that's just a D12 to firing cannons.
Oh,
No,
I've-
it means
an entire
because
career.
yeah.
Oh, it's in career gift.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
actually would have sailing, they wouldn't need the ship stable. I mean, in other words, cannoneers aren't in Book of Corals because they're in Book of Horn and Ivory.
Right. So out of 90 people, 43 of those need to be cannoneers.
A tall order.
Or preferably
Yes.
would be.
Preferably. You might not get that, but
Preferably.
We'll take other people instead of nobody.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's not mentioned here, but it's also a taller. Hey you,
Or-
come up here. Hey you, fish
Or
people.
rather,
Right, even good with firearms.
here's an idea. We don't need everyone who's working at the station to be a cannoneer. We need the officer in charge to be a cannoneer because they're the
Yeah.
one rolling.
You
So
might
we
wanna start
technically need
envisioning-
3, which is way easier than 40.
Yeah, NPC officers.
So I think
Got
that's our primary concern right now. If we can get that, we will be so much better off. The militia is nice, but having some actual craftsmen with sailing would be good. Do sailors get crafts? I don't think they do, right?
No. And I was
Yeah.
looking at Horn and Ivy right now. I cannot find the Cannoneer career. The word only appears once in the entire document.
Unfortunate.
And I was very.
I thought there was a cannoneer career.
So did I.
Oh, well then.
I swear I saw it before, and I even had it around. But yeah, no, I'm not looking for it right now.
Because I was thinking, wow, that's great if we actually had it. Because I know it's not in Book of Corals since I just edited that. But no, and also no, sailors don't get crafting. That's why I hired militia, because militia get crafting.
Right, but the militia don't have sea legs.
That's the other problem. Yeah.
So we could always try to get a caveat of we would like typicals, but who possess this gift.
I mean, that's why I suggested when we hired our crew, we hired a mix of Marines, sailors, and militia.
Right. Last time, though, we were on a random colony area, and we had no reason to assume anyone would have these abilities. Now we're in Gadina, where literally everyone has to have swimming, and somebody has to have sailing.
True.
It is far more likely for us to meet our goals here. So we can still do militia. We can look for militia that have sailing so that they can fill that. We need at least 3 cannon officers. And yeah, I think that's what we're kind of looking for. We need a total of 90 people to fill the crew, though.
Okay, so I've made, inspired by the charts, the ladder charts, right, in this game, I have thrown together a hasty chart of my own for hiring a crew, and I just now made some edits to it. So, peek behind the curtain for a second. So, whoever's making the roll will roll. I know the horror. What I'm thinking is, 1 success, you find half the number. So, no successes, you'll find like a quarter of the maximum that you're looking for, and you don't get to pick the jobs, right? With 1 success, you can get half the number of your max crew. They're probably going to be generic sailors. With 2 successes, you can find enough people to fill every seat in the in the house, or you can select half of the max number, but you get to choose one specific job, and some of them will be that specific job. At 3 successes, it goes kind of the same way. You get more choices. You can get all of them. You can fill every seat and select one job, or you can fill half the seats and select 2 jobs in addition to sailor, that kind of thing. Another option is at 3 successes or more, you can choose some number of your hires to be elites, right? So
yeah.
Well, and it goes based on that. So let's roll and see what we can get.
So for leadership, we have 2 options. Who's going to roll it?
Well, it should be
You have the
one
madame and the
person
captain.
with a bunch of people assisting, right?
Yeah. So who's leading?
You have gossip, right?
No.
No? Okay, I thought you were.
I got
What was
1 die of
the-
negotiation. That's all I got.
What
for
were
you.
the 3 dice?
Mind, gossip, and leadership.
Okay. And the madame has gossip?
Does Dave Furneaux have gossip?
Rafferty?
Oh, you're muted.
There we go.
Actually, I'm the best at this. So.
Do you have gossip?
Let's see. I think I do. No, I have streetwise, but we're not actually trying to hire. You don't actually want to hire criminals.
Do you have leadership?
I do.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll assist you then, because you probably have a bigger mind.
I think I'm a D6. Let me see.
I'm a D4, so yeah.
Oh wow! And
Yeah, so you've got a D6, D8 already.
I'll also say,
and you have a D4.
Madame, I tried to warn you. I truly did.
Well, that's a
you,
shame. There's a D8 for your roll.
D8.
One of
If you
those-
want, if you guys want to use incentives, I'll give you a bonus D8 for if you use some of this gold.
Bonus incentive.
Cash bonus.
Really help. Do we have a cash bonus incentive?
We got a ton of gold.
A lot of gold.
Well, no, we that's not cash. That's
We have 7,000 in cash.
Okay, 7,000. Thank you. We will offer a signing bonus of, I guess, a month's pay, 60, signups to specifically where we're looking for.
Cannoneers and people who can actually sail.
For people with actual sailing or cannoneer experience, we'll give a sign-up bonus. That's what I'll propose.
Nice.
The ability to tell if people actually do have those skills is inquiry, a skill that none of us have. So if you guys just want to lie to our faces, we can't stop you.
Well, I think the thing to do would just be to have our little thing in front of one of these rafts that are all over the place here. And all we do is we put them on top of the raft and just start kicking the raft.
Right.
If they have sailing, they'll make it pretty obvious.
So, Red, how much are you charging for how much bonus?
Oh, no, I think the signing bonus that Raph pointed out makes sense. So it's going to end up costing you based on how many people, how many seats you decide to actually fill, right? So this is based on 3 successes, right? You guys can choose.
Yeah, 1 success from me, 1 success from the captain's assessment. I mean, basically, that's when the people show up and ask the admiral, "What do you think?" It's like, yeah, no,
right.
Yeah.
And then 1 success
montage,
from the signing bonus.
The song. I guess I don't know what music you play during a pirate hiring montage.
Probably what I'm grooving to right now.
Yeah.
Something
I was gonna
with
go
a
with sea
violin.
shanties.
Yeah. A sea shanty with a violin.
Yeah. What do you do with a drunken sailor? Well, we're not hiring you. You're already drunk. You show up the interview.
Exactly. Don't show up to your interview drunk. This is just...
I don't care what that shanty says.
So, Red, you said 3 successes. Yeah. What are
3 successes. So you can get enough people will show up and show interest in joining that you can fill all of the seats with sailors and still have, we'll say, 6 cannoneers. I was going to say licensed cannoneers, but that's probably not a thing. But 6 people claiming to be cannoneers will also show up to this hiring event. If you wanted, you could cut that number down and find another, or we'll also say that, how many total? 90? You can also have 9 elites, right?
9 elites of general choice.
Yeah, you can pick. The only people who are showing up here are sailors and those 6 cannoneers, and you can choose among those which ones you want to be elites. It would make sense to have them be elite cannoneers. But because of this signing bonus, that's going to cost you 6 times 9 is
300. Times
54, 540.
Yeah, 540.
540.
We can take
denarii.
the hit. I say we take the hit.
Okay. Look at that, a triumph of
I'm gonna go
math.
and subtract that right now. There we go. We are at 7,148. We didn't even breach 1,000.
And we'll say a majority of these individuals are sharks and orcas, so they all have swimming.
Sharks and orcas. Cool. All right. So, Commander Cow, who do you want your elites to be? You have 9 choices.
Well, we only need 3 of them to be cannoneers.
All right. So 3 elite cannoneers. 6 more choices.
Well, the sailors.
All right. So 6 elite sailors. There we go. We have already decided. So 9 out of our 90, 10% are elites. And now we get to distribute those across the various ships and try to fill them.
Well, I mean, 1 cannoneer leading each cannon perch on each ship.
Exactly.
By the way, how long is it going to take to switch out the cannons?
You're switching out the cannons?
We're putting the middling cannons on the Lawson's Folly.
Gotcha. Does the book have a listing for how long it takes to build these things?
I think last time it took us like a week just to throw some cannons on.
Yes and no. During next to each of the appointments, there'll be a little number, which is the crafting number, which has the hammer and wrench next to it. So what's the crafting number?
Let's see. Middling cannons. Crafting is 600.
Okay, so we need 600 worth. How many craftsmen do we have, or craft people do we have?
Currently 5 plus Abla, so 6.
So 6. And so if they wrote, they will get 1 success every day. So we would get 6 per day. And how many do we need? 600?
600. So 100 days.
It would take 100 days with only 6 typical craftsmen.
I don't think we should sit here for a third of the year.
Right. We need more people, or better people. But yeah, that's I mean, they would work twice as fast if they had situational bonuses. Which, by the way, raft in the middle of the ocean, you are not going to get situational bonus for that.
Mm.
Yeah. Are we going to hire 94 more people for a week?
If we could. 90 people, if they were skilled labor, would be 2. For like $180, $200, we could hire like 90 people for a week and have them finish it, which is what you would do. It's like, hey, we're in port. You drive your truck up to the Home Depot and hold the sign that says it needs 12 days. I'm sorry. You sail your ship up to the port and say, hey, we need strong backs to move cannon. It's good work. And then people show up and do it.
And that's a pittance to our stores. So yeah, I say we do it.
Right. Well, and then we have to watch them, oversee them, do all of that. I have leadership, so I can watch over people who are in a work crew. Plus, also, I'm willing to laugh people.
How much do the middling cannons cost again?
Middling cannons cost 6,000 denarii.
We could buy another middling cannon.
Now, the flat fee is if you pay people to install it. The crafting fee is lower, but requires people to do it.
It also requires the gift of wealth. Remember the whole trade you set up with the light cannon?
I don't think we should get rid of our vast part of our money to buy more middling cannons. We just need to move them around.
And the reason why it requires wealth is because you'd have to show up and say, I'm here to buy cannons. They say, is it legal for you to do so? You'd sign off and they would smelt it for you. We're kind of hand-waving over that. You could also, by extension, we don't have huge rules for this, say, hey, the underwater place that doesn't,
Doesn't have forging, probably doesn't have cannons.
Doesn't have forging, probably wouldn't honor your gift of wealth or whatever. Like, in other words, you probably couldn't do it here. I mean,
Right.
Port
Also, fair point.
Yeah, Port Feranther, no questions asked. Here, right.
So let's go ahead and start doing a little bit of swapping around. So I'm going to do
retrofitting. I think would be a lot easier, and we could probably get people to do that.
So, on our middling cannon, so the Pirate Ballinger is going to have more space. How many spaces is a middling cannon?
It takes 2.
2 appointments. So we can fill that up with something eventually here.
Well, remember, we can get an extra appointment space simply by overloading the ship.
Yep. And then for the middling cannons, we have to get rid of something on Cow's Pride.
No, not Cow's Pride. Cow's Pride's fine. We're not doing anything to Cow's Pride.
Yeah,
I thought that's where you were moving the middling cannons.
No, the middling cannons to your ship. No, to the Lawson's Folly, I said.
Okay.
You guys are going to have to get overloaded.
Right, so I'm going to do middling cannon here, 10 crew.
You guys get overloaded because you're going to have an extra appointment slot that you're going to need.
Overloading is my favorite. It gives you extra space. But then remember how you get that one roll to avoid sinking? It removes that. You just sink instantly.
Nice.
All right. So we are just overloaded.
Well, no. I was joking. I'm not riding on a ship that sinks instantly. We need to ditch a different appointment.
Well, here's the thing.
Right.
I believe I've got a solution for this. Madame, you become the captain of the other ship. The other unnamed ship in our flotilla so far. Gaston, you're fly. You'd be the perfect captain for the instant sinker.
And just confirm, is that what the is it overloaded or is it gutted that does that? I forget which appointment.
Gutting is a different thing. Gutting, you lose a lot of stuff, but you get one more appointment slot. Maybe not. Overloading. Cargo times 2 increased draft boat is easier to sink.
Oh, gutting.
So overloading is more cargo. Gutting is the one that gives you
more appointment slots. It also gives you minus 5d6 to soak, so it's much easier to sink. So
gutting the ship will give you another appointment slot and doesn't make you easier to sink, but lowers your soak to a miserable roll.
All right, wait. What are the appointments on the Lawson's Folly again?
Yeah.
Easy rigging, flat bottom, supercargo, light cannon, non-volatile, middling cannon.
Well, if we're pushing everything onto one of our ships to be cargo and 2 of us to be escorts, then probably can get rid of supercargo and on the Lawson's Folly end.
Right, and we can go ahead and just move that cargo over to your ship, Captain.
Oh, I was thinking over to the other one, the unnamed one.
Also an option. So basically, you remove all the storage bins, the pulleys, the ropes. Take all that out. More floorboards, cannon.
Yeah, because essentially the unnamed ship is losing 2 appointment slots, gaining 1 appointment slot for the light cannon, and then we'll just move the supercargo over to that, which will equal out.
There we go. Sounds good to me. We got more ships with more guns.
So we are ditching supercargo.
Spread out over.
No, you're moving supercargo.
Yeah. We have our stuff spread out over more ships.
The unnamed ship is getting the supercargo.
Okay, and supercargo was lets us traffic in. Is that what lets us traffic in expensive?
Extravagant.
Okay, so if we lose that, we can't traffic in high-end goods.
That's what I said. We're moving it.
Oh, moving. Okay,
we have 2 vehicles with supercargo here and smuggling.
Okay, real quick. Let's see. I've named a ship. Okay, Arcloid or Griffin. One of you gets to name the new ship.
Arcloid, I think, won the ship. You want to give it to Arcloid?
Well, you did say Gaston could pilot it.
I think I'm on the Lawson's Folly.
That was the joke when it was going to be super easy to sink because he can fly. I
have no skill in doing this.
Well, I mean, at the very least, you can name it.
All right.
Raph has named a ship. I've named a ship. It's up to you two. Which one of you two names a ship now?
I'll let Griffin do it.
Okay. I will think of a name shortly. Because currently I'm also doing the books.
Well, then Arcloid, name it real quick. We keep referring to it, and I don't want to keep saying the unnamed ship.
Right. Let me think about this for a moment.
Oh,
Because I'm tempted
Soft
to
draft.
name it the standby. I name all my various fictional ships. An unfortunate series, a long series of unfortunate events would be the name.
That might be a bit too much. At least too long, I think, maybe.
What do you call them for short?
The unfortunate also probably is auspicious.
Yeah, I like that.
Actually, yeah, why not? Let's give you the unfortunate.
All right.
You guys are piloting a cursed fleet. The folly, the unfortunate, and yet somehow you just keep winning.
No, the pride. You talking about cursed?
It's
The
Cow's
pride is the
pride
standout.
surrounded by folly and misfortune. And we're all right. So let's see. So Cow's pride. So on the unfortunate, I think we have one more appointment, don't we?
I don't think so. It
Uh,
should have evened out. We removed 2, we put on 1, and then we put on another 1.
what was the other one? We have
Supercargo.
smuggling supercargo and improved stowage on it.
Did it
The
already
middling
have?
cannons were worth 2.
Did it already have supercargo?
No.
Well, that's what I thought. We moved supercargo from one to the other. Supercargo is 1. Light cannon is 1. That's 2. We took 2 from the middling cannon, put that over there. So we've moved 2 from one and 2 from the other.
Oh wait, is supercargo 2 is what you're saying? Okay.
Well, I'm saying middling cannon is 2. That's 2 appointments we've taken off of the unfortunate. We put that on Lawson's Folly. From Lawson's Folly, we take light cannons, which is 1 appointment, and supercargo, which is 1 appointment. Right?
Oh, you wanted the light cannons moved over there. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, we're not losing anything. We're just rearranging.
I thought you wanted to load it up, the Lawson's Folly up with cannon. So we are moving light cannon.
Well, no, we did. We moved it to. We put middling cannon on Lawson's Folly instead of having it have light cannon.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move that down here.
We're just making a ship that's better at cargo and a ship that's better at combat.
To do some middling cannon and light cannon goes down here. Light cannon. There we go. Alright, so that is settled then. So that people are aware, we have the Lawson's Folly with easy rigging, flat bottom, non-volatile, and middling cannon. And I think that fills it up. Cow's Pride with the broadside cannon, smuggling, and supercargo. And the Unfortunate with light cannon, smuggling, supercargo, and improved stowage. Does this all sound correct?
Yeah. Do we want to take a break right now since Raph lost power?
That's
Now would
probably
probably be
a
the
good
time to
idea.
take a break.
And the cameras
And I can
are all
also
out of sync.
I can also fix the numbers too. All right.
Okay,
So quick
be
break
right back.
then, everybody.